In the spring of 1989, Sister Lilia Soledad of Los Angeles, California, came to New Jersey to visit and witness to her terminally ill sister, Lucy Macalas, and her husband, Domingue. Sister Lucy was dying of cancer, and her doctors have given up all hope for a cure. Sister Lilia brought Pastor Ed Romeo and Pastor Rolly Villamater along to the Macalas' home in Fords, New Jersey, to conduct a Bible study with their relatives and friends. The visit turned into a 6-hour Bible study session where almost everyone in attendance, including Domingue and Lucy, surrendered their lives to Jesus Christ. Sister Lucy passed away a few months later, but there was a peace and joy in the heart of those who loved her because they knew that she was in the presence of God. From death came life. The initial visit to encourage a dying loved one turned into a weekly Bible study group and continued to grow. The seed that was planted in Sister Lucy's home grew from a Bible study group of 12 people to a congregation of 40 members. And so began the search for a bigger place to house the growing ministry. Pastor Ed and Pastor Rolly surveyed the township of Elizabeth, Hillside, and Woodbridge, where the church finally settled down. Thus, the church, which Pastor Ed named New Jersey Christian Fellowship, was born. The first worship service, held in the afternoon, was attended by the Macalas residents Bible study group and our faithful brothers and sisters from First Filipino Baptist Church, who has shown their love and support since the very beginning.
In the spring of 1990, Pastor Luis Sijo became our first full-time pastor and served for about a year before being called back to another ministry in the Philippines. In 1992, the church moved from Woodbridge to Fords under the leadership of Pastor Dennis Reyes and changed its name to Fundamental Baptist Church of Central Jersey. Then in 1993, Pastor Dennis Reyes answered a call for another ministry in California. So Pastor Rolly, with the help of Pastor Sidney Albano, took up the leadership of the church until March 1995, when Pastor Sidney was formally called as full-time pastor. Pastor Paul Cadavas arrived from the Philippines and also provided assistance in the ministry. That same year, the church moved from Fords to Hillside. In 1997, Pastor Sid and his family moved to California to answer God's call for another ministry. Pastor Rolly again took the helm, fulfilling administrative duties while seeking the help of willing pastors to supply the pulpit needs of the church. During the time when FBCCJ did not have a full-time pastor, many of God's underserved shepherds offered their services. Pastor Yuli Marino, Pastor Jerry Lepasana, Pastor El Becerra, Pastor Ed Tablazon, Brother June Dizon, and many others took the time to minister to FBCCJ. Then, in October of 1997, FBCCJ formally asked to be adopted as a daughter church of First Filipino Baptist Church, and Pastor Ulysses Marino became our senior pastor.
In March of 2001, after a trip to Spain, Pastor Rolly suffered from a stroke. People around the world rallied behind his family and FBCCJ, lifting them up in prayer. And God answered those prayers. Little by little, Pastor Rolly's health improved. The experience brought the entire FBCCJ even more closer to God and to each other. God's faithfulness was also seen through the help of faithful servants that He sent us. That same year, God brought us Pastor Ray Lazo, Pastor Louis Fowler, Pastor Ismael Jiao, Pastor Art Ismalia, Pastor Rocky Diaz, and many more who assisted Pastor Yuli and Pastor Rolly in preaching and in teaching Sunday school and holding Bible studies.
Then in July 2001, after many years of prayer, God finally brought us our own under-shepherd. Pastor Timothy Lepasana was invited as guest speaker to our annual church family camp, which that year was held at Camp Hebron in Pennsylvania. Seeing the needs of the church, he volunteered to help out with work. In August of the same year, the church formally calls on Pastor Tim to become a full-time